Hey everyone, IRIX Guy here. Now you've probably watched a few of my coin videos. Maybe you're not a coin person. You probably wonder, well, what is that all about? Why is this guy so fascinated with coins, in particular silver? Well, why does IRIX Guy love silver? Well, I love silver, number one, because it comes in so many different formats. And what you're looking at right here is just it's a 2013 release of the Chinese Silver Panda. It's minted by the government over there in China, and it contains 1 troy ounce of 999 fine silver. So if you look at silver or gold for that matter, you look at what's called the spot price. It's constantly fluctuating. The metals market is a lot like the stock market. It's going up and down. Political conditions change the price. Supply changes the price. Just multiple factors can cause the price to fluctuate, and it constantly fluctuates. I just mispronounced that word. Why I like silver is that it's a hedge against the dollar. Now, looking at this little bitty coin right here, somebody may say, oh, that's about the size of a silver dollar. Now, at one point in time, silver dollars used to be worth, your Morgan silver dollars, they used to be worth $1, 1 paper dollar. But just to illustrate how awesome silver is, that silver dollar that was this size, that silver dollar now is no longer worth 1 paper dollar. It's worth over 30 paper dollars. And of course that constantly fluctuates. That's why I like silver so much. Silver, if you don't really understand, it's like, well, why would I buy silver? I can't go to the drive-thru and buy my cheeseburger with silver. I can't go down to the grocery store and buy my groceries with silver. No. You got to look at silver like it is. Silver is something you get, you put away somewhere safe, and then you get it a few months, few years later, whenever the need arises, and it is likely held its value, if not become even more valuable. And as you've witnessed recently throughout the past few years, silver has run all the way from the teens all the way up to like $50 a troy ounce. Now, of course, today, I think it's at, I'd have to pull out and I don't have my phone on me, but it's in the 30s, the low $30 range today. So it's just a good thing to have. And to take it a step further, why I really love silver is that it's being consumed. When you're dealing with other metals, and I like gold, don't get me wrong, I like gold, but gold is often melted down and repurposed. So somebody brings in a gold ring, they melt it down, they make a gold necklace. They make a filling for a tooth that's made out of gold. It's recirculated. Silver has a lot of industrial uses to where it's consumed. Consumed meaning it's burned up, it's gone forever. And as anyone knows, whether it's silver, a loaf of bread, a 6-pack of Coca-Cola, whatever, as there becomes a shortage, the value skyrockets. And just recently, looking in the news with, if you're not a firearms guy, maybe you are, you can look and see how, because of all the tragedies, how quickly, ammo's in short supply, prices are almost doubled, gun accessories have doubled, if not more. Guns, even if they're available, or the same model gun is at least twice, if not more, as it used to be a few months ago. So the same thing with silver. Once this shortage, once SHTF stuff hits the fan, silver is going to go through the roof. And mark my words, and say when this happens, remember, IRIX Guy, this video, and feel free to share this video with others. Remember that crazy coin guy that reviews coins in his bathroom, and because the lighting in there is good, and he makes these animal noises when he reviews the coins to have fun. I like to inject a little bit of humor into it, because just getting metal and just locking it up somewhere, there's no entertainment value in that. But if you have something to keep you going, to fuel that need to continue to add more troy ounces of that precious metal, then you'll continue to do it. And this stuff, mark my words, and there's a lot of other factors, not just the consumption and the shortage, but there's a lot of other factors, the alleged naked short selling. Now, I know that sounds funny. Naked short selling, woo, it sounds dirty and goofy. But what naked short selling is selling something that someone doesn't have. And there's a rumor out there, and it's a lot of people have done their due diligence and they've researched it very heavily. And there's a lot more than just speculation stating that a lot of large financial institutions are naked short selling silver. So in other words, just to give a silly example, somebody comes in, they're like, okay, I'd like to buy a contract of silver. Here's 10,000 paper dollars. So they give this financial institution 10,000 paper dollars. And they get whatever, based upon the spot price of silver that day, however many troy ounces of silver that $10,000 will buy. So the financial institution says, okay, here's your contract. You now own X ounces of silver. Thanks for your $10,000. So you get that piece of paper. Now what the naked short selling part is that a year, a month, however many days later, that same person comes back and they say, okay, I've got this contract here. I want to take physical delivery of my however many ounces of silver. And then they get that piece of paper. They're like, okay, this is good. We issued you this silver contract. Let us go back in our bank vault and get your silver. And then they come out with a goofy facial expression. They're like, oh, we're sorry, sir. You'll have to come back in a few hours. We don't have that silver here. The guy or girl comes back in a few hours. The silver's still not there. And it becomes quickly realized by Joe Bob or Jill Bob that silver they bought, the contract they bought, is worthless because there's no physical silver to back it. They can't get their silver. So then they tell their friends, and then their friends tell their friends, and then the world finds out, holy, there is a silver shortage. And then you're going to see all of these manufacturing organizations that burn up silver day to day for their industrial applications. They're going to be buying, stockpiling silver right and left. They'll be buying from bullion dealers. They'll be contacting mines to try to get in there and get their silver. They'll even, and as a last resort, or maybe not a last resort, they'll be going to the common people like myself and other people and say, hey, we need to have enough silver to enable our operations to continue for the next few years. And they're going to be buying a surplus. And they're going to be paying a premium because they're going to want to get that before it's all gone. And when that hits the fan, when the shortage of above ground silver, physical silver becomes realized, you're going to see panic. And panic is going to translate to a very rapid, more rapid than we've ever seen, extremely, insanely, sickeningly rapid appreciation of the spot price of silver. And that's why silver is so important. Because the people that are buying now when it's cheap, people are like, well, man, it was a little bit over $10 a few years ago. Why do I want to buy it $30, man? That's so expensive. Hey, do what you want to do. And all I got to say is that silver, in my opinion, IRIX guy, $30 range is cheap. So just share this video, think about this video. I welcome your feedback. I mean, I'm not a dictator. Your opinion is more important than mine. So, share your feedback. I want to know what your thoughts are about silver. Why do you love silver? This is why IRIX guy loves silver. Why do you love silver? Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for your subscriptions. It's youtube.com/IRIX guy. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll continue to post new videos. Got a lot of really cool silver coming in, 2013 releases. I know what's on a coin doesn't really matter. It's all about the silver content, but still, it's fun to review. It's fun to look at. It's fun to make animal noises, and it's fun to watch your feedback and reply to your feedback because that's what makes this IRIX Guy Adventure channel so exciting. Thank you so much.